Welcome to KGXT, Gen X Talks podcast, live from Central California.
Making plans with the boys. I'm gonna hit the town. Yeah, I'm gonna make some noise. I'll push past the pain and my wounded pride. I'm gonna live it up.
All right, it says we're recording.
I haven't even had my coffee
Welcome to Las Vegas, Nevada. The Red Rock Hotel and Casino proudly presents the Gen X Talks podcast.
Holy mackerel, that's way too much. I haven't even had my coffee yet.
You know, these people are going to look and go, what is the filming angle? I don't think I have a way before I get home to green screen our images onto something. This is a hotel room.
This is where we're at. That's fine.
I turned...
Very natural.
Yeah, mine unfortunately shows a little bit of my messy bed. Yours does not. Your camera's completely away. For all everybody knows, you're a Mary Poppins and your bed is already made and everything's perfectly proper how it's supposed to be.
But I don't have coffee.
Well, they're coming with the coffee. I heard you order room service, which I told you not to do.
No, you did not say that. I always get room service for breakfast.
Yeah, because we should have picked a hotel without room service.
Not when we come to Vegas.
That'd really be roughing it, wouldn't it?
That would be very roughing it. I can't do that.
So
I'm not one of these people yet, the old people that get up in the morning and then get dressed and out the door and go have breakfast in the morning.
Yeah.
No, I'm not there.
What about can't you just meet the other people at the ice machine, other old people getting ice in the morning?
No.
You go downstairs for the continental breakfast where there's freeze-dried Folgers for breakfast.
Bring it to me.
And they got some Danishes from Albertsons, you know. They're old people all talking. You got your khaki shirts on, your sandals with black socks.
No.
Well, I think you're missing out on a whole experience here. Anyway.
Sounds like your kind of people.
I'm not going to be one of those guys.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, the background kind of blows right now for those of you that will be...
if you stop talking about it, nobody's going to care.
Yeah, that's all they do. See, that's one thing I've learned, that a lot of the comments that the kid gets on his ambush videos, people pick apart the background because it makes them feel smart. Like, oh, look what I noticed.
What?
Oh, they do it tons. Someone said the kid posted that string together deal of us traveling in the car. Remember, I knocked the phone out of his hand. And,
yeah.
And some old guy goes, I'm a boomer. Why are you driving in the fast lane? That's a privilege. Unless you're passing someone, get over into the other lane.
Nobody said that.
Absolutely. This is what they do. There'll be something hanging in the background. Like here, someone can see the corner of my bed being unmade, and someone will say, why don't you make your bed before you did the podcast? That's all they do is look in the background. And somehow,
wow,
I'm telling you, these people that do this are like, didn't think I'd notice, did you? Look what I know. Look at my keen observational skills.
No, it's how many times did you watch the video to catch that?
No, I think this is what they do. I think people look in the background for mistakes or errors.
So
or
dumb.
If there was, if like in the background right now, if we had a book about Tom Sawyer just sitting there, the person's comment would be, are we going to ignore the fact that there's a Tom Sawyer book in the hotel room? Are we just going to overlook that fact? Is no one going to bring that up? I know these people that are desperate to be thought of as intellectuals when that's all they do. That's their
so nitpicky.
I couldn't even tell you. If he gets 1,000 comments a day, across all the videos, of course,
right.
1,000. I'm going to tell you, 300 of them are that type of a thing.
That's too
and
bad.
That's what they can't. They don't just sit down and enjoy it. They got to start picking it apart.
That's too bad.
Yeah, it reminds me of Josh Maddox in my spelling.
Oh my God. Do not throw Josh Maddox under the bus.
No, he does. He corrects me. He probably could.
You want to be corrected.
Whoa, easy. Is that like a broad statement? Because not my whole life I don't. Yes, in spelling, there's probably more.
You fat finger type.
I do. There's probably more that Josh could correct me on that he chooses not to. Mm-hmm. I think he's reserved and goes, dude, this is so blatant, I have to tell you. Whether you like it or not, I got to tell you. That's 2 yawns. Okay, so...
I haven't had my coffee.
Oh, but I thought it was the studio.
I don't know.
I thought the over-under was 4 because of the studio.
It's going to be way over 4 today.
We're 4 minutes in and you're already 2 yawns in. This is great.
I know. This is early. So early.
Yeah. What was I going to say now? You got
I don't
me
know.
all bamboozled here.
I don't know.
Bum, 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 bum.
We're in Vegas.
Well, we told you guys that. We told everybody, hey, on the last live stream.
But you didn't tell me till...
No, I said, we got done. I said, how long will it take you to pack? And you went, for how long? And I went...
After the Tuesday live stream, right? That's when I think
No,
you.
it was.
Was it that afternoon?
No, yeah, you're right. Tuesday live stream. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
after the live stream, Tuesday night, you said.
Well, okay, there's a couple things going on because we do get.
Well, why you sugarcoating this? Just tell him. You told me after the live stream.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I submit as evidence to you I am a bad husband. I gave her little to no warning. She had no time to do laundry. She had very little time to pack. And when I told her we could be leaving anywhere from 3 to 5 days, she blew a fucking head gasket. And not in a good way.
That's not how it went.
What? How did it go?
Wow, you are just full of lies this morning.
That's the exact...
That's not what happened.
Why would I lie about when we're leaving?
Because you said, how fast can you pack?
There's 3 yawns. You tried to cover that one up.
No, I said, how fast can you pack? That's what you said Tuesday night.
Yeah, you didn't say that. I did.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I said, I don't know, I'm not packing tonight, is what I said.
Okay.
So I said, I'll wake up in the morning and pack. And you said, okay.
Yeah.
You pack and we'll leave.
Right.
You didn't give me 3-5 days.
Well, I was kind of combining it because the next day you got up and said, okay, I'm packing. What are we packing for? And I'm like, well, 3 to 5 days. Now we're leaving like in 2 hours. You had no time to do any laundry.
No.
What if I had told you we're packing for a week? You'd have been like, you motherfucker.
Well, then you better find me a place to wash clothes.
So the bottom line for this is, and why we were doing this is, we do get a little personal here. I do share some stuff. Gen X Talks has been going along smoothly. We're putting out, the kid's putting out his short videos. I'm helping out with the polls. I mean, we've been doing some stuff, and we've been making phone calls and contacts, and things have been going along semi-correctly. But for over 2 weeks, I have just been. What did you say? You called it a rut. You felt the same way. You said you kind of been in a rut.
Yeah, I felt indifferent, kind of like in a rut. And we do that every once in a while. We get that way where it's just like it gets monotonous.
Yeah, and I think everyone does that. Everyone goes through that. That's not uncommon. But for me, it was a little bit deeper because you actually thought I was depressed, and I'm not depressed. It was like, no, I'm not. I'm all right. I'm not depressed. I just felt kind of unhappy, maybe sad. I don't know. I just felt like it was more
in a rut.
It was more than well, it was more than in a rut. It was more than blah. It was kind of like, I don't give a shit anymore. Now, I'm not, it wasn't to a point where like, I don't give a shit anymore. I'm going to put a bullet in my head. No, let's not get dramatic. It was more just like, do you want to get out of bed and get going? We got stuff to do. Okay, there's 4 yawns.
I'm sorry. You wanted to do this before coffee, so.
So, for me, it was, I really didn't want to get up and do anything. Wasn't depressed. Like, well, let's get going. We got Gen X Talks. We got stuff. I'm like, I don't care. Well, do you want to talk about Dayton and start looking for some? No, not really. Well, we got a few things to finish up around the house before we can move. I don't care. It was, and it again, I wasn't depressed. It wasn't like I was just gloomy.
Weren't into it. Didn't want to do it.
I wasn't into anything. And so after 2.5 so weeks go by, I know how I am. And I know if I don't get out of it, I will get depressed and I will stay in that I'll be there for years. I can get stuck in that rut. I remember working at the shop one time when we were raising the kids and stuff, and I kind of let myself get into a funk and stayed there for a year. I went to work every day. I did my job. I made the money. I came home, mowed the lawn, and and you were like trying to get me out of it, but it was like once I was down that road, it was really tough for me to get out. So in this case, I was doing one of those things when people say, well, we're trying to leave and go to Vegas and rekindle our marriage. All right, not that, but I needed to do something.
We needed a new environment just to get out.
I needed to get away from the kid because I'm still struggling with him, and Jade, both of them. But I needed to try something. Whatever triggered me into this, I needed to try to get out of it.
Right.
So here I am. I mean, you can listen to me. I'm fine. I'm not upset. I'm not depressed. But I still got that thing in me that's very flatlined, and I just want to get rid of it. I want to. Now, I will tell you one thing that usually helps me, and you'll attest to this because you don't mind this at all.
I'm sure I don't.
No. When one of the things that helps me, this is going to sound so stupid.
You're giving away a secret.
I know, to the male audience out there.
Yeah, they're going to go, dude, you're making us look bad.
This is true. This is a true story for 30 years or so. One of the things that helps me feel better about myself, about my marriage to you, about being a father, the whole thing, is I buy you stuff.
Yes, you do.
Sometimes if I buy you something, I don't know whether that makes me feel like, well, I was able to purchase this for her and I'm a great person. It can be something small. I've driven and gotten you coffee before.
Yes.
And that's been enough to make me feel, you know what, okay, I feel all right now. And I don't know why. Normally, guys would be like, I'm going through a midlife crisis. I need to get a Corvette and a blonde girlfriend, and let's go here. I'm not that way. For some reason, I'm built, and I'm not being silly right now. I am built that when I get that way, that helps me is to get you stuff. So,
Oh, man.
there's 5 yawns.
I'm sorry, you guys. Stop pointing it out.
No, I'm going to point it out every time.
No, stop.
And it's when I do that for a purpose. Now, last night I thought, all right, well, one of the things that come into Vegas, and it costs a little bit of money, even though we got really good room rates and stuff, we're doing well. But I made the mistake. I was joking last night. You said, where do you want to go eat? We were leaving the room. We changed our clothes, and I said, well, let's pretend it's a date.
Big mistake.
And you said,
Take me to I want steak.
yeah, you said, take me to a steakhouse. I went, okay, never mind. It's not a date anymore. We're on Social Security and we're old people. Now where do you want to go? So that plays into me getting you something because, the steakhouses in the Red Rock, there's one nice one, T-Bones. It's very expensive. It's not the most expensive in town by far.
But it's really good.
It's really good. It's not like the steaks are $35. They're expensive. And then I got some Sinatra Jack Daniels. I had one glass. You got a rosé, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And then we had our steaks. The one thing I was hiding something from you last night.
What's that?
And I'm glad you didn't catch it. Okay, first of all, I don't like fancy restaurants. I can do fancy. I could wear a button-down shirt and I can slick my hair back like Alpha. And you call me handsome.
Right.
And then we can go.
Right.
I was in the process of getting myself situated at the table, and that fucking guy.
Yes, with the napkin?
Yeah.
What napkin?
Well, tell everybody what he did,
Wow, you
moron.
didn't take your napkin off the table quick enough. So he had to place the napkin in your lap for you.
First he snapped it out.
Yes, he did.
He snaps it to release it, and then he lays it in my lap. I'm like, get the fuck off me. And you were over across the table going, you're supposed to have it in your lap. I know where it goes. I wasn't there yet.
You weren't fast enough.
I wasn't. Yeah. You know what? The customer's always right. So now I got this guy dressing me at the table. He's like, he looked at me. He gave me that look. And so did the guy behind him. He's like, oh, you don't know
what to do.
You just didn't know.
Don't you know?
Didn't you know this is what you do? I'm like, fuck off. I know what to do. I know where the napkin goes. So the part I was hiding from you all night was the only thing I had to drink other than my little one shot of Jack Daniels was water. And the water glasses are really tall and narrow.
Yes. Were you dribbling?
No, I didn't dribble. But I couldn't drink it very well because my nose kept hitting the glass. My nose would hit the other side of I'd take it to my lips, and my nose would hit the other side of the rim. I'm like,
so you got a big ass nose.
Yeah, I go, these fucking glasses need to be wider. This is way too.
I didn't notice.
I was looking at how you were drinking out of it. You were fine. You were really fine with your rosé. The glass fit right under your nose. It was a nice, narrow, tiny opening. The water one was bigger, but you did it just fine. Me, nope, hit my nose. So every time I went to drink,
big ass nose.
Okay, I think they heard you. I think they heard the big ass nose part. But every single time that I went to drink, I'm fighting this glass to not look like a moron while I'm drinking.
That's funny. I didn't even notice.
No, I was hiding it from you.
So if you could hide it from me, then you hid it from everybody else.
Yeah, it was still uncomfortable.
Well, you'll get over it. You got over it. We made it through dinner.
Yeah, I couldn't even finish my steak. It was very good, though.
Then what'd you say? Do you think they'll box it up for me?
And you go, no, this is a nice restaurant. They don't box your food. And I'm like, well, can I ask? You're like, no. What'd you tell me?
If they offer.
Yeah, you said, if they offer, then you do it. But you do not ask them for a doggy bag.
That's right.
At a restaurant like this. I'm like, well, I'm not fucking leaving my steak here. It's a lot of money.
Then you better damn eat it.
And that's half my steak is there. I'm not leaving it. So you and I are at odds. I'm like, and this guy's getting ready to come over, and I'm telling you, we're arguing, going. I'm very clear, saying, I'm not fucking leaving. I'm not leaving my steak.
You were trying to figure out how to put it in my purse.
I told you I could. You're like, you're not putting that in my nice.
No.
I told you, what if I wrapped it in the napkin?
No.
What if I squeezed it out first? Then I wrapped it in the napkin so it wouldn't leak through, and then we put it in your purse. Could we do that?
No.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't leaving without it. Luckily, the guy comes up and says, he said, can I package this up for you?
Yes.
They had weird words last night.
Wasn't boxed.
No, and it was.
Can I package this up?
And look who's here as she walks away. Now we're going to have a fight over the cart. Watch.
Hello, good morning, ma'am. How are you?
Here we go.
Good. How are you?
I'm Steakhouse. Did you have your breakfast? May I just bring it in?
Yeah, just drop it off really
I
quick.
can just push the table right
Okay.
there. Thank you. Let me get that door.
Okay, thank you.
so much.
Yeah, here comes her coffee. I got a feeling she ordered more than coffee.
I did. I'm gonna let you see.
Yeah. Get your fat ass out of the way.
Nope. Nope, not at all.
What if he doesn't leave you the cart?
How are
He's
you?
gonna leave
I
the
am.
cart.
I am.
That's our table.
All right. Well, I'm just saying.
I need coffee.
It's your personal table.
Thank you so much.
So you're welcome, of course. Green treat, I have the Belgian waffle. There's butter, maple syrup, and sour whipped cream, eggs, pork sausage, sourdough.
We have to get the whole rundown because we don't know what food looks like.
Yes.
Small pot of hot coffee. You only asked for one, huh?
Yes, that's just for me.
Just want to make sure.
I got a question for you, my man. Does she sign for this? Because she
Right
didn't.
now, yes.
Okay, so now you got to figure out how you're going to give him a tip because you didn't pull any cash out, and I'm not giving you shit.
You can put the tip on here.
Well, that's why I said you got to figure it out.
It's not,
He's being
How old do you think I am? I can figure this out.
chicks, man, chicks. That's all I got to say. What was your name?
my name is Nick.
You said Nick,
Yes.
but you said Neek.
No, he said.
What's your name again? Come on, I want to hear you say it. You said Neek. I heard you. Come on, man.
Yeah, Nick.
How do you spell it?
Well, it's Nikolai, but I just go by Nick. N-I-K?
Nikolai.
Yes.
I dig that. That's better than Nicholas.
Russian?
Is that Russian?
No, I'm Bulgarian, actually.
Bulgarian.
Far out, man. I dig that.
Completely. There you go.
Hello, Warsaw.
Hey, thanks, my man. I appreciate you.
It's my pleasure. Nice meeting you.
All right, we'll catch you on the flip side.
Enjoy your breakfast. Have a wonderful day. Feel free when you're done, you can actually press that button. We'll come back and pick it up.
Oh, wonderful. Thank
Wow, electronic button service.
you. Bye-bye.
Anything fancy?
Cool like that, Daddy-O.
Enjoy your coffee.
Thank you.
Now let's see how long it takes her to get her ass back over here with her one little tiny cup of coffee and 40 packets of stevia.
Wow.
I know it's not really stevia. That's a throwback to Breaking Bad for all of you Breaking Bad
No
fans.
cream.
What do you mean no cream?
I don't put cream in my coffee.
I almost made a reference to that.
I know.
I
Where you were going.
I got your cream for you.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go somewhere else.
No.
I got my coffee.
Oh, look at you sitting down with your coffee.
Cheers.
Okay, now.
All right. Oh, just the smell is like reviving me. So where were we?
I asked him his name. He said Nik.
Nikolai.
Nikolai. That's
I
kind of
said
cool.
he's
though.
Russian, but he's Bulgarian.
There was a
Hungarian, Bulgarian.
Hungarian, Bulgarian.
We're next door.
You're a bunch of Aryans. That's what you said. Look, I'm trying to agree with you here.
Okay.
I saw a clip last night on one of the old dating games. Remember those? And she goes, Bachelor number one.
All the dating.
She said, what
They should bring that
what
back.
nationality are you? And he goes, I'm part Welsh and part Hungarian. Means I'm well hung.
Oh, brother. I think that would be more fun to bring back than like The Bachelor or Bachelorette.
Yeah, those are dumb. All right, so
So we were having steak. You had it boxed up.
so the guy came back and he said, "Can I package that up?" Which reminds me, this is a fancy restaurant. They had weird words for stuff.
What do you mean?
Okay, like the guy did not want to confirm when I said mashed potatoes. He would not take that as an answer. You had to step in.
Potato puree.
Potato puree. I'm like,
I'm going to say that for Thanksgiving. The kids will go, are we having mashed potatoes? No, we're having potato puree.
Yeah, the guy says, what do you want to have as your side? I'm like, I don't know, you got any taters? And he's like, yeah. I said, get them mashed. He goes, mashed? I go, yeah, mashed potatoes.
know what you're saying.
And then my wife has to jump in. Oh, those are potato puree.
Uncouth.
That's just like when they, but when we're in a fancy restaurant, I go cowboy way. You've heard me do it our whole marriage.
I know.
How would you like your steak prepared? Well, why don't you knock its horns off, wipe its nasty ass, and plop it down on the grill?
And they go, huh?
Yeah, and you go, he wants it rare.
Yes. I I had prime rib last night, which I've never had 4 different types of horseradishes.
That was so weird. You couldn't even remember the other one.
No, I couldn't remember the 4th one, but I knew the other 3.
The guy brings you out this tray of 4
dipping sauces.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck is that?
I made him tell me twice because I wasn't sure what he said.
Yeah.
It was chipotle horseradish. It was raw horseradish, which means it's not mixed. It's just like shredded.
Yeah.
And then creamy horseradish. And the 4th one, I can't remember. But I tried them all. Every one of them was delicious.
Well,
so
whatever it was, I the guy looks at me like he wants my approval on the radishes he gave you, and I was like, "Is one of them ketchup?" He's like, he just turns and walks away. Well, if there's no ketchup, no A1 sauce. Now, I had the boneless ribeye, and whatever sauce they made, whatever dipping it was
like
not
a steak sauce.
It was like a steak sauce, but it wasn't au jus because it's you're having a ribeye, but it was not bottled. No way. This was not like A1 sauce.
I'm sure they made it.
They made something there, and it was so delicious. I even asked the guy, I go, look, I'd like some of this too. He goes, I'll go get you some, no problem.
Yes, he did.
And then the guy...
we were trying to figure out how to take the one home in my purse again.
Oh, yeah,
without
I told him, I said, if I can't take this sauce with me, I'm dumping it all over the steak before you put it in the box. Yeah, I was a real peach there, but I was quiet.
You
It wasn't
redneck,
super loud. Yeah.
hillbilly, dumb mechanic.
Dumb mechanic in the middle of the desert.
You're
But
in the desert.
yeah, I'm in the desert, so I'm still a mechanic and still dumb.
So let's talk about coming into Vegas. How we thought the apocalypse happened.
Something weird was going on. Okay, there's a rule. There's one piece of evidence against this, but we'll get to that last. So we stopped in Baker, and just to get some gas, go to the bathroom, grab a sandwich or something, and there was nobody in Baker. The town of Baker. You guys know the main street up and down Baker that parallels the 15. There might have been 5 cars.
It's a stopping point for most Californians are
Everybody.
going into
Tons
California.
of people stop in
Yeah,
Baker.
it's a stop.
There might have been 5 cars on the road with us.
It was creepy.
And you go down and there was 6 fast food restaurants at this one end of town. It was at the northeast end of town. 3 of the restaurants were closed,
Like no business.
Boarded up.
Boarded up. Yeah.
no cars in the parking lot. I'm like, okay, that's weird. And the other 3, not one car in the drive-through.
Nobody in the
One
parking
car in the
lot.
parking lot, like the one employee that's there to service each thing. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. That's
was
true.
weird.
And I remember talking to that one girl at the window where you wanted a sandwich. I go, where is everybody? And she goes, oh, senora, they will not be here. It's the weekday and it's
Yeah.
during the day. I'm like, people go leave in Las Vegas. She goes, no, it's just me.
On the weekends. She said the weekends.
She goes, right now, it's just me.
It's yummy. So then we're pulling into Vegas. I fell asleep after we left Baker, and I woke up, and I'm like, "Where's the traffic?"
There's nobody in front of us. There was easily a mile before you had any cars.
And we were coming up to South Point, which is the, southernmost hotel, I guess, roughly.
Yeah, pretty close.
Before you start getting into Vegas.
We're well inside the residential area. There's thousands of houses all around us.
And there's barely anybody on the freeway.
There's some cars behind us. Nobody in front of us for a mile and a half. And here's the bad part about this. You guys want to talk about a nagging wife. Whenever a wife thinks she's right about something, oh my fucking God. Purely by coincidence, we're coming through Barstow, and she's on her phone reading her National Enquirer, which is Twitter or X.
Yes.
And she goes, you know what? They're saying McCarran Airport is empty. I go, McCarran Airport is not empty. No, they're saying it's like a ghost town and there's nobody there. I go, okay, whatever. It's McCarran. It's Vegas. There's going to be people there. There's people that travel every day for business. It's the holidays are coming. It's not, I'm just telling you, there's pictures. Well, those are cleverly placed pictures. It's like a ghost town. There's very few people. I go, you're full of shit. Whoever wrote that is lying. Fuck off. I'm tired of talking about McCarran. So every time we ran into a situation that had very few people in Baker, very few people in the parking lots, very few people in the drive-thru, guess who was looking at me from the passenger seat smirking, going, I told you
And what
so.
did I say to you? I go, do you want to go by the airport? Do you want to go check it out yourself?
No,
We could drive through and go see.
I don't want to go by the airport.
Why? Because you don't want to be proven wrong?
No, because it was a waste of fucking time. There's people in the airport.
We can
okay?
drive right through it.
The only problem I had driving is that even from coming over to Tehachapi to the 15, fucking truckers.
Oh, yeah. It's been a little week.
First of all, there was an abnormal amount of heavy trucks on the road. And I'll tell you, nothing pisses me off more than trucker assholes who, when there's 2 lanes and one trucker goes to pass another trucker going 1 mile an hour faster than
You
the
got a
guy.
lot of truckers that listen to this.
I don't care. If you're passing a trucker and he's doing 55 and you're doing 56, just slow down to 55. It takes, and what if you're passing 3 trucks?
It takes a long time.
And these truckers always go 1 mile an hour faster than the guys they're trying to pass.
Because they're still faster than that one truck.
I don't care. By the time that one truck gets to the head of the line, there's now 95 of us cars behind him going, dude, get the fuck out of the way. You just don't do that. If you're only going to go 1 mile an hour faster than the trucks you're passing,
Stay in lane.
stay in your fucking lane. Dial it down a notch. Enjoy life. Relax. I don't know. Truckers can be very rude. This goes out to, I don't know how many trucks. We got Michael Dawson.
Loud One.
We got Loud One. I know those 2 for sure. And there's more.
So is this your warning to them or
They've-
your thought of the day?
Every one of them is guilty of doing this. Every
Thought
one
of the day.
That's right. Every one of you fuckers, get on the gas pedal. Shift into a different gear. Anyway.
Anyways, we were talking about our dinner and then we got sidetracked onto how quiet it is. So the other reason why we're talking about how quiet Vegas is because it's the Formula One race starts today. They start practicing today, and I guess the race is
Well,
on Sunday.
yeah,
but so right now it's quiet in Vegas. I don't know if they're waiting till the weekend.
I thought for sure, like a week before the Super Bowl, Vegas
Yeah.
is sold out.
but
And
it's
I
not.
thought for Formula One, it'd be difficult to get a room, or the prices would be. We got a better room rate than almost we've ever gotten here. I mean, it was that
it's
cheap.
better than January right
And
now.
I talked to Haywood Nelson. We were going to have dinner with him last night, and I called Haywood, and of course, he answers the phone. Hey.
Hey.
And he says, he's with those big lighting crews. And he goes, we got to get this thing done. He's got a crew. He's running, putting stuff up. And he goes, we can't. He goes, maybe tomorrow. So we might see him today, but we couldn't even last night. So he's setting up. He's getting the lights are all going up and getting dialed in.
But I wonder how big it is. This is the second year they're doing this, right?
I know, but they were pissed off last year. It sucked. People didn't like it. They couldn't get to the casinos. It was horrible.
They've been talking on my National Enquirer, on the thing.
And
People,
what have
the
you
locals
learned?
stay away. Like you say, if you live
Yeah.
here, you don't go down there anyways.
Right.
But they're just saying, like, people just don't go down there for that. And then the people that want to just come to Vegas aren't coming to Vegas because you can't see anything. They've blocked everything. They've put up these walls over the walkways. For
Right.
people to walk between casinos, they're just like they've totally closed off the strip. So what's the point of coming?
Yeah.
That's what they're talking about. So
Well, the thing that I found. Well, you asked me how come they're doing it again if it sucks. It was terrible.
Yeah.
It was such a bad experience for Las Vegas, but they knew that. They're like, look, we're going to sign on for, I guess it was 7 years or something, 5 years, whatever it was. Might even have been longer. And they said, look, we're going to do this. We're going to sign on. We're not just doing it 1 year, and if it sucks, we're not coming back. We know it's going to be difficult. We know we're going to have to learn stuff. So if you want to do this, Vegas and Formula One, you are both going to sign a contract. We're doing it for multiple years, and this is just year 2. It'll be better than last year. It'll get better. They'll get it worked out. But last year, it got terrible reviews all the way around.
So it'll be interesting
Yeah.
to hear. But that's wouldn't that happen if they got bad reviews the first time? Who's going to try it a second time?
Well, think about you're exactly right. Think about the millions of people that came through during that 2 weeks last year that hated it. They're just going to avoid it this year. They're not coming back. They're like, it sucked last year. Let's not even. And even if they weren't here for the Formula One, they could have been here just during it and saying, yeah, we're going back. We're not going back during that event. That was horrible.
Yeah, and people said you get a better view watching it on television anyways. So that's what most people say.
Well, that's the way you felt after I took you to your first NFL game.
I did.
You're like, okay, because
this was nice.
I took you to a great game. We took you to Broncos and
49ers.
49ers.
49ers, that's right.
In the LA Coliseum.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of you got Niners, you got Broncos, and you got to go inside the Coliseum all for one big thing. And when we were done, you said, "Yeah, I just gonna watch this on TV."
I know,
next
I'm
time."
fine with it,
There's a lot
but
of
it's
standing around.
really slow. I didn't realize how slow it was in person. And I wasn't a big fan of all the people around either. In this,
No.
they're a whole different. Going to a Major League Baseball game, everybody watches the game,
Right.
But it seems like everybody in an NFL. I don't know if it's everywhere, but where we were, it was like a big tailgate party, and I was
All the
like,
time, yeah.
I want to watch the game.
Yeah.
So it was very distracting.
It
but
was tough, but that's
anyways, going back to dinner, we're flip flopping around, but going back to dinner,
Yeah.
I had one of my favorite desserts ever. It was the best.
I told him not to even offer you the dessert.
That was the
menu.
cheapest thing on the menu.
Would it have mattered? You get stuck on that one thing.
My favorite dessert is creme brulee. Oh, and not everybody makes it, but in the finer restaurants, you can get it. And it did not disappoint. It was so good.
Okay, I thought of something else that embarrassed me about the.
About dinner?
Yeah.
Oh, there's more?
Yeah, you'll remember this too.
Okay, go.
I was trying to clarify. I ordered a wedge salad,
Oh, yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
I love that wedge salad. It was, oh my God, so good. And I was trying to clarify. I know that blue cheese is the dressing, so I asked about ranch because I didn't want the ranch. I wanted to make. And
You didn't want the blue cheese.
no, I want the blue cheese. I was asking because he didn't ask me what I wanted.
Because
And I-
you don't.
But if they don't ask you what you want on most salads, you just get the house dressing ranch.
Right.
I didn't want that. I wanted to make sure we got blue cheese. And so I was just bringing it up casually, and you and the waiter both jumped my ass. Hey, dumbass. It comes with blue cheese.
Wedge salad is blue cheese.
You don't got to ask. And I'm like, okay, I'm not a dick. I'm just verifying to make sure because I
That
don't
you're
wanna...
a redneck.
There we go. See, and that was another one.
See,
I'm
if
like,
you would have read the menu, it would have told you that too.
First of all, that menu, printed way too small.
Oh, are you blind?
Way too. No, I'm not.
I think you're blind.
Way too small on that. That was not even fair. They do that. I think they just do that so they can look from across the room and see people like me squint.
Oh, I think the numbers are really small.
There is no numbers.
prices.
Was there prices? I didn't see it.
Yeah, there were.
And then what was that? The brandy was $80.
Oh, I was looking through the dessert menu had after dinner drinks.
Yeah.
And so they had port and they had, different like coffees and stuff. And then I ran across these two types of brandies.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. And I said, look at this.
$79
a glass. And brandy is like,
Oh, brandy's
it's like almost a shot glass.
Yeah,
That's all you get.
It's in a big.
It's a sipping.
It's a big cup, but it's a liqueur.
Oh, yeah.
So you just get a drop in there anyway.
It's
like,
just to warm you up.
yeah,
And like,
fuck that. $80 for that shit. Bullshit.
I got to talk about brandy. I got to go find one my mom and dad used to drink all the time. And I had a couple I remember growing up, but they used to have blackberry brandy. That was my mom's favorite. Blackberry
I
brandy.
don't think I've ever enjoyed brandy ever.
I like it because it's just a little sip, and it warms you just enough. I should go find it.
A bright spot in last night's dinner. The guy who was the main host of the restaurant, the manager seating
Oh,
everybody.
yeah. You had a nice conversation with him.
We had several long conversations.
Yeah.
Turns out he lived here when I lived here, and he worked direct. He was Steve Wynn's personal assistant.
Yeah, that was a great story he told.
And then when I said, well, and then I started dropping all the names of because remember I was working on some of the higher end cars, so some of the higher end people in town would bring me their car to work on, so I got to know some of them. And when I started telling him the names, he knew those people too. And we got to some of the names, like, well, do you remember the former mayor of Las Vegas was Jan Jones? But that was her married name, and she was...
yeah, you guys were dropping names back and forth.
Right, and neither one of us could remember who she was married to because we both knew her husband owned one of the car dealerships that I was working at. And on the way out, I remembered his name, but the guy was missing. I was going to tell him it was Pat Laverty.
Yeah, but it
was his
started
name.
getting really busy as we
It
were...
did. He got insane.
The restaurant
which was
crazy.
funny because here, everything we do all the way to Las Vegas is dead, zero people. It's zombie land. Nothing's around. The
Yeah.
apocalypse is upon us. We get to the steakhouse, and there's a waiting line outside. I mean,
Seemed like
did
it was
get busy.
locals, though. That's what I kept telling you, because he knew a lot of the people that
He
were
did.
walking
and he
in.
told us that. He goes, most of our clientele is local and repeat customers, and I think he's winding down his career because when you're Steve Wynn's assistant, assistant. You're covering a multitude
He
of
did
hotels.
30 years with him, he said.
30 years, yeah, of hotels and casinos and all sorts of stuff. And then, now he's like, he just calmed and settled down doing this. Maybe he does other stuff too. Super nice guy.
Really nice guy.
His name was Royce. I don't remember his last name.
I can't remember either.
But he was, and you know what? His staff, everyone at this place was smiling and polite and kind and funny. And they did it at every table. And so did he. That guy worked that room. I think he talked to every single person that came in twice.
Yeah.
He was incredibly
And
good
he
at his
stopped
job.
by multiple times to make sure we were fine
Yeah.
and how everything was. But I have a Vegas story you need to tell. Because I think there's...
I need to tell?
Yes, about you working here. Because I think it's a hilarious story. And I think you told it a while ago. But I think you should say it again because since we're in Vegas,
What is
you
the
got to
story?
tell about the Mike Tyson story. Come
you
on.
don't wanna hear that.
Yes,
You know-
I do. I love it.
I think
Because Mike Tyson just had his fight. You got to say...
there was I think when I told that story was during the Grant interview with Torquestrap. I was telling him about it.
Oh, maybe that's it.
I think the only time before that was probably 4 years ago.
I know. So tell it since we're in Vegas because it's so funny.
When I lived in Vegas, Mike Tyson was still, powerful fighter, and he had a lot of money. He traveled with an entourage, and I was working for a dealership called Wilden Pride Dodge. And Dodge doesn't sound very exciting, but that was when they had the Dodge Viper.
Vipers, yeah.
And there
They
was
just came out.
They just came out. There was only two of us in all of Las Vegas.
and Vegas wasn't that big. You got to go back and tell them
No,
it was.
wasn't super big,
but it was a destination.
It was a destination. So
Yeah.
there's still a ton of people around here, but I was one of only two people that was Viper certified. So to work on Dodge Vipers, and it was the same way with the Mazda Millennia, which was their luxury car like Lexus. I was the only one certified to work on that. That's how I got in with the expensive cars and stuff with those guys. Anyway, so the owner of Wilden Pride Dodge one day comes out and says, "Hey, we need you to come up to the sales lot." And I go, "Why?" He goes, "Now we're getting everybody out there. I need the service manager and I need a lead technician." I go, "Well, am I bringing a scan tool or am I working on something?" He goes, "No, just
the
clean."
mechanics never go out there.
No, ever.
You-
What am I doing on the sales floor? So the only time you ever go out there is if you have to answer a question. Sometimes some old boy will be out there and say, "Well, I need to know some specifics that maybe the sales guys don't know." That's the only time you'd ever go out there. So I clean my hands and I walk out there. The general manager's there, all the salespeople.
So you knew something was up.
The service manager was there with me. The general manager was there. And the finance guy with his crew. There's like 20 people. We're all standing in a line. And I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? And out in front in this row, they had moved back the row of cars that were up against the building for sale. And they're usually 2 rows deep of whatever. And they had carefully, colorfully angled, I want to say 6 Vipers.
Different colors?
Different colors. Because at the time, I think Vipers only came in red. You could custom order black. And then I think they had one custom painted. Anyway, I go, okay, what are we doing? And what's with all the Vipers? Because normally on our lot, you keep 1, maybe 2. People don't buy them. They're new and they're super expensive. Even back then, I think they were $100 and some $1,000 a car.
Wow.
I don't remember, but very expensive. And he goes, no, Mike Tyson's coming in with his entourage, and he's ordered these, and he's gonna pick them up, and we just want to show. I go, I gotta stand out here because Mike Tyson wants to buy a fucking car.
You mean you weren't excited to see Mike Tyson?
Well, if I could have sat and talked to him, maybe. But you got to remember, Mike Tyson back then was kind of an arrogant fuck. Nobody really wanted to hang around him. He was a different guy.
Okay.
I mean, I guess if you were his friend, he was cool, but he just was angry all the time. And I wasn't going to get to talk to him. It wasn't like I was getting a picture taken with him.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I'm just like, okay, let's just hurry up and get it over with. I don't know, how old was I, 24 or whatever it was? I just wanted to leave. Anyway, 22. I don't remember. Anyway, so we're standing out there, and sure enough, here comes Mike Tyson with his 35 people tagging along with him. And he's walking around the cars, looking at the cars, walking around the cars, looking at the cars. And, of course, he isn't saying anything.
Did he ask you questions?
Nope, not a fucking word. Didn't even know I was there. And he walks down the row of all of us. He looked all of us in the eye. Not scary, just like kind of a little nod or something, like he was being at least polite enough to acknowledge us, but he had no interest in any of us. And I'm standing there trying to be interested. Like I wasn't intentionally being dismissive, but I was kind of like, I
got a job to do.
I got stuff I got to go do. I got to earn a living here. And so he's looking at all the cars, and all of his entourage is talking. He's not saying a word. Finally, he walks up to the general manager, who happened to be 2 people away from me. The service manager was there. It was the sales manager to his left, service manager to his right, and then I was to the right of the service manager, just standing there. And the guy had come up, one of his entourage. I don't think Mike's taking these. I don't think Mike wants these cars. And the guy says, okay. So then Mike gets done and walks up and looks right, just 3 inches from the sales manager's, or the general manager's, gives the general manager's face. He goes, I'm not taking these fucking cars. They're full of scratches. There's scratches all over these fucking things. I'm not doing it. You sell me a bunch of cars like this. It's super expensive. I'm paying cash for them, and there's fucking scratches all over them. Fuck this. I'm out of here. And he left. And I went, okay, can I go back to work now? Now, heads are going to roll. People are going to get fired over this shit.
But not you.
Not me. I just wanted to go back to work. I think it was about 2 hours later, maybe 3 hours later, I walked back up to the front to, I think I had to actually move one of the Vipers we had to take it in the back for something. It was still out there, and so I went to get it. And Mike Tyson drove through the parking lot with, I think it was 6 BMW 7 Series. He went right across the street, catty corner was a BMW dealership, and he bought 7. I think the 7 Series was the top of the line back then. I don't remember. I remember them being big black and white BMWs, and he walked in and made sure that we knew, that all of us knew at the dealership. He went across the street and bought BMWs instead of our scratched up Vipers.
Ouch.
Yeah. So, whatever.
Rude.
Well,
Wonder why they were all scratched.
I don't know that they were. I think he just changed his mind. I think he looked at it and said, I'd look better in a BMW. Maybe he didn't think he'd look good in a Viper.
Maybe he couldn't fit in a Viper.
Yeah, they weren't. They were sporty. They didn't have like reclining bucket seats or anything. But I don't know.
Well,
Mike Tyson's not super tall either, though.
So you're going back to '80s Gen X generation with the Vipers. Give your opinion on the Viper. What kind of engine did it have? Like, let's roll back to when they came out.
It was either
They were a cool looking car.
It was. They had a V10, which was a very rare thing to have in the age of computer cars. You know, when you get into the early '90s, in fact, they had 2 computers to run each half of the engine.
Really?
Which was very weird. That was a unique thing. Well, we didn't have that much. Now, yeah, my cell phone can run a car engine if you programmed it to. But back then they had 2, decent sized computers on each side of the engine bay that ran each half of the
interesting
of the engine, a big V10. And they were powerful.
So you can get it. They all came with a V10,
yeah,
or
I don't think you could get them any other way. I think that was it. You could modify them after that, but at the dealership level, I think you just ordered them. If I remember right, with a V10, that was the only thing.
Was that the only car at that time with a V10 that you know of?
You could either right at the same time or shortly after, you could get a truck with a V10. That was it. They put them in a truck. I think some of the Dodge trucks. I think the Viper came out with it first, and then I don't remember. It's been so long ago, but you could get a truck right about that same time.
All right. So what's your review? Did you get to drive one?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah.
So what did you think of it?
My 2 favorite things to do on Interstate 15, right in the heart of downtown Vegas, was take a Viper and just go blowing through traffic, or when I was with Mazda, a turbocharged RX-8, and blow through traffic, because you'd always get pulled over. You always get a cop and say, I'm on a test drive, and I have to open this up, and, I don't want to be gone. You go, well, drive it out by Lake Mead. I'm like, I can't be gone an hour fixing this car. I just got to get to where this is the only place I can go. It's like, all right, well, you get to where they just stop you, and they're like, don't do that again, and then you move on. But that was pretty common back then. You could you could really light it up. You can get going up there and pick up some speed. But at the same time, when we're doing that, there's other people buying expensive cars and leaving at 180 miles an hour outside of Vegas. Vegas did 2 things in Clark County. They bought a Pursuit helicopter, and they bought a Pursuit Corvette. They bought a direct Corvette from GM that was super fast, and then they modified it. And that was part of this. That was part of their highway patrol.
Wow.
Was to have a Corvette that could catch you and a helicopter that could catch you. So yeah.
That must have happened because there was quite a few people that
They'd buy these cars,
from here in Vegas.
From here in Vegas, and they'd take off. Some of them were rich people that knew how to drive them. Some were idiots that crashed them as soon as they got them. Happened all the time.
You're still avoiding my question.
What
was your review of what'd you think of it since you worked on them? And
the Viper for a sports car was great. It's like having a real sports car. Like if you had a Porsche, you wouldn't really care how many suitcases you could take with you. It was just big and powerful. It looked great because it was a brand new design. It was something very retro to the 60s in its overall flair. They were good. I liked them a lot, and as they went on, they're still very expensive. Even the old ones are. You try to find some of the older ones that they're now collector's items.
Interesting. How long did they make them? It just seems like they didn't have them very long.
I don't think they brought them back after. I guess it was 7 or 8 years. I'd have to look it up. I really don't remember, but they did quit making them. But Dodge, Chrysler, Plymouth will quit something and then bring it back. So. I don't know if they skipped a few years and brought it back. There could be a brand new one right now for all I know. I don't hover over the new car industry.
So how was it to work on? What was the engine like?
They're easy. Yeah, because the whole hood was almost completely removable. You pull the whole thing, tilted it up away, and it was like a European style hood. It tilted forward. It gave you access to everything. There was nothing that was really difficult on those to get to.
Not like the European cars you used to complain about.
Yeah, Audi. I hated working on Audi. There's cars that, a few American cars, but mostly European cars. There's some of them you have to take off the bumper, the fender, the tires, just to change a battery.
I know you used to get so mad about it. Or it had an engine cover on it that you had to remove the engine cover. Remember those?
Some of those, yeah. Well, some of the engine covers, if you broke a tab on it or you couldn't find a thing, they'd rattle. And you're like, motherfucker, we'll quit putting these pieces of shit plastic all over everything. It was ridiculous. And the same with on the bottom. They had covers on the bottom, and they'd hit things, big old plastic cover across the bottom of the car that is only secured with push pins that expand when you put them in. And people hit stuff. They run over bushes and things, and then they rip apart.
What's the reasoning of an engine cover? Just that it looks good? Is that it?
On top or on bottom?
On the top, or any really.
Honestly, it discourages customers from touching their engines. That's exactly what it's for.
So you can take them off, and
you can take them off, but they put them on to discourage. They don't want customers messing with their engines anymore. So they'll put a big formed plastic cover that says Audi or BMW.
Yeah.
And it looks really good when you open the hood to impress your friends, but don't touch the engine. It's exactly what it's there for, is to keep people from customers.
So could you drive without it? Like, could you take the cover off?
The one you don't want to try to drive without normally is the one across the bottom of the car, because that actually helps funnel airflow for temperature control.
Oh, okay.
A lot of and some aerodynamics keeping it, but people don't realize that. They're like, oh, just take it off. It's better to let it breathe. No, not really. They really engineer that stuff so well that it is part of the breathing process for cooling an engine.
I thought that was cool. The Mike Tyson story is so funny. I remember when you told me about that. I laughed so much. That was funny.
So yeah, we did have a great conversation with that guy Royce last night and had a good meal. What time were we done? Was it like 6:30? I think it was 6:30, and you're like, so do you want to go to your little automatic blackjack table? And I'm like, no. I'd driven all day.
Yeah.
And you guys all remember, I'm still testing my knee to see if I can drive, if I can walk. And I did perfect driving.
You did great.
And then walking, I brought my crutches because I can walk left, right with my crutches. I don't look like I'm dragging a cast. But I also wanted to try the wheelchair to see if I could push the wheelchair, and then if I did start to hurt, I have a place to sit down. But by the time we got done with all the walking yesterday around stopping for gas and going for the bathroom and stuff, and then coming here and you're walking through the hotel and the casino and then back to the steakhouse, you guys got to remember, for the past 10 weeks, that's the most I've walked.
Yeah.
That was the most I'd done. So as I'm sitting there getting ready to get up from dinner, I'm like, I was hurting, but I didn't want to push it anymore. I was kind of done. So we'll see how that goes. But today we have to go down and speak to the good people at the Red Rock and talk about. I'm still going to, for those of you who have been very disappointed, and this will bode well on Discord. For those of you asking about the room reservation situation, I am going to go down and do it face to face. You got nowhere on the phone.
No.
Many times. I tried twice and I could barely understand her accent. I want to go talk to him again. It might be the same result, but I'm going to go talk to him again about the rates and stuff. And I want to finish paying them. If I can finish paying them what I owe them on some stuff, let's just get it fucking done. And then we're off to, I can't say.
Oh, you can't say.
I can't say.
I thought you, I was
I was
going,
gonna say
don't.
I was going to say, and now I can't say.
No, I know.
And then we should be back in Vegas tonight. I can say that. And then we're
We're going to go play for the day. Just go out and run around.
We're going to go take topless pictures at a park. Why are you shaking your head?
We're not.
Why?
Because we're doing something else.
But can't you agree with me to distract them?
Yes. Okay. Yes. We're going to do that.
Topless pictures.
Topless pictures of him. Topless pictures of him.
No.
Of the general.
No.
I'm going to put them all over Discord.
No, this. Well, the Discord server is going to get shut down.
You didn't say who, so it's him.
It's true. I didn't say who. And then we should be connecting with Haywood to have dinner tonight. And then tomorrow, everything looks like Christine has gotten on the ball. And if you know who Christine is.
Married to Ben Matlock. Never lost a case.
Yeah, Ben Matlock, who never lost a case, is married to Christine Matlock. And she has arranged for us to talk. We need to make some progress on the Dayton property.
We've stalled. It kind of stalled
a little bit, and time is against us. It is not for us. We need to keep moving on this stuff. So I offered to drive up there. She actually has some people meeting us on a Sunday, coming into their office Sunday. But the problem is, if we drive up to Reno Friday, and I called your brother, the Sun Valley Fox, and said, "Hey, I think we're going to be up there Friday night." You know what he blurted out?
He's got dinner plans.
I got dinner plans. I said, "What? You don't have any dinner plans?"
He totally blew us off.
Yeah, he's like, "I'm busy." I was like, "You're not busy. You don't have dinner plans.
You don't do anything.
Have your little TV dinner Salisbury steak at a different time. Come on." And so he's doing something. So we're by ourselves Friday night.
But it's a good 6-7 hours to Reno, right?
It's about 6 hours, yeah. But maybe we can catch up with Dr. McDreamy and MarcyZavala.com.
Maybe. We'll see.
And then Saturday, we kind of have a day off. Although we're going to take all of our gear to the Sun Valley Fox's house and set up for the live stream.
We're going to do live from Minden, Nevada.
Live from Minden, Nevada. Now, just so you guys know, talking about Briggs a little bit here, I am still struggling with him being home. He started off doing very well, but yesterday I said, "Listen, I'm going to be gone for a few days, and I don't think you have the ability to take care of things. You're just too scatterbrained. You're lazy. You don't think about stuff." "Oh, no, and I can do it." I said, "Look, come over here and stand next to me. Put an alarm on your phone. I want 7 o'clock in the morning. You got to let the dogs out. They need to go to the bathroom." I said at 4:30, set an alarm. You got to feed the dogs. I mean, I went through this whole thing with him, and then I gave him a list. I said, "Look, with Gen X Talks, there's a lot of stuff when you're gone. This is what Mom and I do."
He's totally out of his routine.
You gotta post and do. And he's, "Oh yeah, I got it." He didn't even do 10%.
Yesterday?
Not even 10. After we left, he's quit doing he just played video games with his friends all day. I had to call him at almost 5 o'clock and go, "You didn't feed the dogs yet?" Because I got a security camera. I go, "You didn't feed the dogs yet?" "Oh yeah, get right." I mean, this is the way it goes. He did let the dogs out at 2 or at 7 this morning. I'm sorry, at 7 this morning. He did let the dogs out, but
well, we'll see how it plays out.
And I haven't said anything, but I told him. I said, you need to sell yourself to. I said the words, "This is going to be your resume." Because the agreement we have set up with Mom, with you, giving you a couple bucks for doing some stuff, helping you get a job, letting you live here, things. You have to do this correctly or I don't want to do it anymore. And he goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "Briggs, I don't want to go down. If you can't handle things for 5 days the way I need to, it's not even that complicated. But if you can't put forth the effort and take care of Gen X Talks and the house for 5 days, this is your resume. I don't want to do it anymore. You please move back into your apartment with your friends. I can't." Knowing that this is that serious. But then again, I I have had other conversations that were just this serious. Now you need to pay attention. This is the last time I'm going to. And then he just kind of muddles through and lazy does a little bit here and a little bit there. And he's already started. Now, I haven't said anything to him. I haven't called him and said, you fucked up yesterday. I sent him a message and said, how hard do you think you tried yesterday?
That's a good one.
Did you put forth 10% effort and just get by? Or did you put forth 90% and really knock it out of the park? What do you think you did there? Remember, I'm basing how I treat you when I get back on what you do. Mm-hmm. I left it. That's all I said. I was just come on, I'm paying attention. Are you?
Right.
That type of thing.
Right.
The Jade...
we had to talk about that on the way here.
I called her the Jade.
The Jade.
I was going to say the Jade problem, but I stopped. The Jade.
We talked about her yesterday on the way here.
Well, she asked if she were doing Thanksgiving at her house, and I said, "Is your derelict idiot fucked up boyfriend coming?" And she goes, "Can he? Is he allowed?" And I said, "Yeah. I told you this yesterday. We're driving in the truck. I said I don't care anymore. I cannot keep pushing her. She's always wanted to do." Nursing. One of the times I was recently in the hospital, one of the nurses that knows me said, and Jade was there, she goes, go on the website, apply for this job, you'll get it.
Gave her the instructions.
Yeah, step by step, how to get her foot in the door. This will all work out the way you want it to.
And the hospital would pay for her to go to school.
Yeah, and she goes, this works all the time. My friends have done it. I've done it. I can help you do it. She's never even gone to the website.
She's not?
Never even gone to the website. And I'm just tired of trying to push her forward in life.
It's her choice. She's a grown-ass woman.
I'm keeping one rule. I'm making her get up. On her days off, she has to report to me wherever she is, shower, shoes and socks, dressed, ready to go. And that way, if I say you're driving an errand for me, she's ready to go. If I say you're picking up dog shit in the backyard, she's ready to go. Or if I say, all right, it's your day off and I don't have anything for you, but she's getting up and being part of the living. That's really the only big rule I'm keeping. Other than that, she pays a couple bucks rent. She does that. I don't care anymore. I'm not going to bother her boyfriend. Another year has gone by and say, well, you're going to marry my daughter. You know what?
It's their life.
They're not listening.
No.
They don't care. And the only time they're going to bring up any of these conversations is years from now when everything's fucked up. Then they're going to come back and go, oh, you should have done what you said. And I'm going to go, yep, and close the door. That's it.
Well, that's all we can do. So there's sometimes you just got to cut bait and just go, well.
There's your Briggs update, your Jade update, a little bit of Vegas and what we're doing. I will tell you something, a little plug for marcyzavala.com.
You know what's tonight is a live stream.
I will do a little plug for marcyzavala.com here.
What's that?
I will not let you derail me.
Yes, I am going to derail you.
People who don't know you that well, real quick, she beat cancer 10 years ago, and with the chemotherapy, which is poison, they said, look, you're just going to live in pain the rest of your life. Which you did. 10 years went by, and we'd tried every medicine, every drug, every witch doctor that we could drive to or fly to.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing worked.
Asked lots of questions.
Nothing worked. You tried everything. And you just resided yourself, I'm going to be in joint pain and muscle pain, and that's it. And then marcyzavala.com comes along, and she's like, let me run a test on you. Mm-hmm. It was an expensive test. I'm telling you, this test was a grip of cash, and your insurance doesn't cover it. But I paid it thinking... I
asked you, we got to try something.
Did. So we did. I paid it. But guess what? Because she was able to look at that test, and her husband is Dr. McDreamy, one of the most sought-after internal medicine guys on the West Coast, they both look at each patient and say, here's what I want you to change.
It's individualized.
No, there's no book, there's no pamphlet. She just looks at your stuff and goes, okay, I'm going to send you a list. Quit eating some of these things. Begin eating some of this stuff. That's all she did.
Yeah.
And then
and then some supplements. We did some supplements.
We didn't have to go back and do that big test ever again.
Not yet.
There was blood work, some other things. And within 3 months, 4 months, you were feeling better. 6 months, you're pain-free.
Yeah, it's creeping up on a year. I think we did it in January, so a year is coming.
All of the joint pain that you'd been living with for 10 years is gone. Now, we've had members of Gen X Talks, the Bottom of the Glass Nation, friends of the program, have joined on that. Every one of them has had drastic improvement.
Yes.
Every one of them, maybe not total like yours, but every one of them that I've talked to said, no, I'm much, much better.
Yeah. And they may take longer
They
to
might.
solve the problem.
Just realize if you guys are hurting, if you're getting older and you're in pain, with the crap, this is what Dr. McDreamy told me. He goes, the crap that they're making our food out of, which is why it's such a big thing for Trump with RFK. They want to get rid of the crap that's in food. And Dr. McDreamy says, good, this will help everyone. Mm-hmm. But for right now, if you are in that much pain and you want to go to marcyzavala.com, you're literally one click away from feeling better for reals.
Yeah. And even if she will have a conversation with you, a brief conversation to see if she can help you.
Right.
Before you put down any money, you can just reach out to Marcy Zavala and say, hey, this is how I'm feeling. Is there a possibility you can help me? And she'll tell you. She'll say yes or no. But what's great about it is that it's individualized per person.
Yeah, you get a personal, it's like having a personal trainer.
Yes.
You get a personal doctor that will call you and talk to you and help you and listen to you. I mean, it's amazing. It's an incredible
It's worth
thing.
it. It's very, very worth
So-
it. Any questions that you have, anything that you're feeling, they're there.
And no, she's not paying me to say this. In fact,
No.
we joke that every time we say it, she's got to pay us $5. We're not paid to say any of this. We're just letting you guys know that after 10 years of my wife suffering from chemotherapy pain, and a lot of you know exactly what that is, it's fixed. So whatever pain you're going through from whatever surgery, whatever broken bones, once you're past all that and you're trying to recover, if you got a couple bucks and you can put Marcy Zavala on it, you're gonna be thanking me. I'm gonna be on your Christmas card list, my man. You're not gonna be disappointed.
Absolutely.
So now that you did quit yawning once you got your coffee.
I told you.
We got to 6 yawns and you stopped. I can smell breakfast over there.
I know. It smells good. I'm hungry.
So
Isn't it funny how you're more hungry when you're away, like on vacation, than at home?
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're gonna your brother. I know your brother, the Sun Valley Fox, isn't gonna listen to this, but
they listen.
well, then he needs to know that you're coming with you're gonna give a gut punch to him.
But what?
What he said yesterday, he goes, I said, we're going down for dinner. I told him your sister wants to eat. He goes, can you afford it?
Oh, yeah.
And I said, I don't know. She's always hungry. He goes, I bet. So you're going to.
I'll have a little talk with my brother.
Gonna gut punch him when he gets there.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's the plan. How long do you think we've been on?
Probably an hour.
You don't have a clock.
Feels like an hour.
1 hour and 1 minute.
I have no clock.
How did you do that without a clock?
And you say it's because I looked at the clock.
You
so-
always look at the clock.
An hour. It feels like an hour.
Yeah, it feels like an hour. So
Feels like an hour.
all right.
So is this going to be there? Are you dropping this? It's not going to be live, right?
Well, see, up until the time you said that, up until the moment you just said that, everyone listening on KGXT radio is going to think we were live.
Oh.
But really, the time right now is 9:18 in the morning.
Ha ha.
And they're listening at about 10:18 in the morning. All of a sudden, right now, they're going, hey, this isn't live?
That's why I thought I'd throw it out there to see.
We're trying to get I wanted to go live for you guys. I even think I figured out how on the laptop to get the butt going. I got everything working. And your queen comes by and says, look, it's going to put us behind schedule. Let's just get up in the morning and record it. Post it like a song. Just have it drop at 10. They won't know the difference. And we can get on with our day. We got stuff we can do. We're going to be like 2 hours behind. I went,
Because we got to get back for a live stream. You've got to sit here in the room.
No, I kind of do.
What do you mean?
This is where we're talking about Brigger before. Brigger has assured me he is going to do tonight's Bottom of the Glass show in full. Every channel, everywhere, all the intros. He's going to have the pictures, the charts, the graphs, the
He
fun.
should just do his kids show.
Don't say that.
Oh, okay.
As soon as you say that, then he's going to don't change things.
All right.
You fuck everything up.
I'm
when
not
you
telling
change
him
things.
anything.
Good, don't. You literally fuck everything up when you come in with these things.
Hey.
You do. You
No.
stop right now.
Stop.
So I told
Is there
him.
a window that's open?
Why, you want to jump out of it?
No, I'm going to throw you out the window.
So he said, I told him, I said, I'll send you some interesting little clips to do, and then I will also call in I'll call in the program and I'll be part of it if you want me to put me on the microphone and I can be on there. So, I can carry part of the show for him. If it's an hour show and I help him out for 20 minutes, that's a third of the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it'll be good. But see, this is what I was going to remind you guys. A lot of you out there are members on either Patreon, the General's Lunchbox on Facebook, or YouTube members. And we post a lot of members-only content. And I gave him 5 juicy, fun things with pictures and stories that he could post on members. And he also did, he upgraded the cereal poll. So technically I had 6 things to put up there. Don't count the cereal poll as anything big, because that's just nothing. And he goes, okay. But I sent him stuff all day. I was working on it for him. I took the time, and he put up the cereal poll on Patreon. That's it.
Not on YouTube?
Well, it already goes on YouTube because it's part of their poll.
Oh.
That's how you do it.
All right.
But he didn't put it on General's Lunchbox, and all the other stuff I sent him, he never even used it.
Well,
That's how lazy he was yesterday. Had all that material and didn't do it.
he'll do it. I have faith. We'll see.
know. So anyway, that's it. That's from the Red Rock Hotel, room 8107. I don't know where we are. Is that where we are?
I don't know.
8107 in the Red Rock Hotel, high above the Strip, and it is
You mean the strip's like 10 miles from us?
But we can look down and see it. We're on the hill, so technically I'm not lying. We're high above
All
the
right.
Strip.
Everybody have a great day. We have things to do.
Technically, if I get this done, and I don't know if this is still a thing or not, but if I get it posted and it drops at midnight, doesn't Two Bear still have to buy donuts?
Pretty much. I don't even know if he still does.
I don't even know if he still listens to the podcast.
Yeah, we have no idea. He used to tell us, but he doesn't tell us anymore.
He doesn't text me and go, good podcast, bad
Nope.
podcast.
We hear nothing.
So I think that's a way just for him to get out of donuts.
Maybe.
That's all he's doing.
Maybe.
All right, listen, we got to go. We got to get out of here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
We appreciate you guys checking in. I know the camera angles are weird. I never looked at the camera once. I was always looking at you.
It's fine.
But it was a different deal, a weird gig. We'll post it as soon as we can. I'm trying to get the audio up for KGXT radio listeners so you think you're listening to it live. If I get it done on time tonight, then it'll drop tomorrow morning on Spotify and Apple and everywhere else. And then I'll probably wait till I can't wait till I get back. We're not coming back for a few days. The video version should post Monday or Sunday morning at 12 in the morning. Because when you wake up Sunday and you don't want to listen to the pastor of the congregation, just put this in your ear, and on your phone you can watch it just like you're watching NFL on Sunday.
There you go.
All right, I got to get out of here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening in. Not sure where you chimed in from around the planet. AM, FM, Sirius XM, or perhaps you tuned in on the Armed Service Radio Network. Remember 2 things in life. Number 1, wherever you go, well, there you are. And 2, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. I'm out.